Hey guys, how's it going? So I wanted to challenge myself to build a workbench that is able to break down and be stored away, as I don't have a shop. I can't leave my workbench up, and I don't want to leave it just out in the rain. And I have other ways to store things, but nothing big enough to leave a workbench. So I decided that I was going to really issue myself a challenge and see if I could build a stable workbench, lots of clamping space, lots of workspace, that is lighter weight, completely portable for less than $100. So this is what I came up with. So as you guys can see, I've got my 2x4s laid up on these Kobalt collapsible sawhorses. I decided to go with completely pressure treated lumber for this project, and also I decided to go with these Kobalt collapsible sawhorses because they are really lightweight, easy to store, and they are not too difficult to mess with, even though they do take a little getting used to. Now that being said, I had to cut the 2x4s down to length. I decided that my worktop was actually going to be 72 inches long. Anything any bigger was going to be a little difficult to actually move around by myself and set up by myself. And I wanted this to be very portable and easy to set up, especially if I'm by myself. So it was easy as cutting the 2x4s to length. And there's actually slots on each side of these sawhorses by Kobalt that the 2x4 is set down in. It is designed to actually hold a worktop or hold things like this vertically to help you work with them. So it was a perfect fit and made things super easy. Now after that, it was just as simple as cutting a couple of cross members to go in the center for some structural rigidity. And it was pretty simple, measuring from the ends, getting them spaced out. And I wanted this to be super strong. I don't want it to move around a whole lot. And even though looking at the sawhorses, they are a little smaller legged and you would think they would move around a lot, but it really is nowhere near as bad as you would think, especially with a rigid box for the tabletop underneath. The next step is just as simple as just setting up the plywood. Again, I'm going with pressure treated plywood. Everything on this is pressure treated because if I don't have somewhere to store it, I didn't want to have to worry about if it got a little rain or water or whatever on it. I wanted it to last as long as it could. Now, this is a 1/4 inch, so things like bench dogs and things will work once the holes are drilled, but there's some things that won't work with it. But this is a kind of temporary setup that I wanted to go with just so I can move it around a little easier. So after the tabletop was cut to length and lined up to try to center it out on my structural box underneath, it was time to actually attach the tabletop to the supports. And pretty much all I did was use 1.5 inch screws and just screwed it down pretty much. But I went all the way around and made sure to hit all the braces. Again, I wanted this to be structurally very sound. I did not want to worry about anything coming loose or having trouble if I decided to move it around or if I had to carry it to another work area. Now here what I'm doing is actually marking all the spots that I want to put 3/4 inch holes for bench dogs. I wanted lots and lots of clamping opportunities and make it to where I could work with almost any size project on here and not have any issues whatsoever with the project moving around on me. So this pattern is actually about a 4.5 inch square pattern of drilling these holes. Now there's a few spots around the frame that I wasn't able to actually do that because I was going to be drilling either into the frame or actually into the sawhorses, so there was no need of putting holes there. Now that being said, this gave me lots and lots of opportunities to work with any size project. I honestly do not remember how many holes I put in this thing, but I have to guess it's somewhere around 42 or 44. And yeah, it took a minute. But using a nice high torque corded drill is what made this much easier for me. I was using my cordless drill in the beginning, and one, it was killing the battery entirely too fast, and after that, it just didn't have enough torque to go as quick as I would like. Now, after that step, I just kind of wanted to smooth out the worktop. There was some spots of stuff sticking up and things, because of it being pressure treated, it was still a little wet, and it wasn't perfectly smooth holes on the top, so I figured I would just go ahead and sand off the top and get it nice and smooth. Now, the next step I decided to do was to add cross members between the legs of each sawhorse. I did this for a couple of different reasons. One is that it will add some structural rigidity to the table, allowing it to not move quite as much side to side. It will still move a tad, but this does help some. And the next part is, eventually I will probably be building either some kind of shelf or possibly even a removable tool bench or tool box that would go lengthwise underneath the table, and I needed the cross members to be able to build that on. Another good thing of this is, once I do build that lower storage area, it will actually set up the length of my sawhorses. So how far apart my sawhorses are will fall right into place just by using these cross members. I just literally haven't got around to designing the shelf or anything yet. So after cutting them to length and getting everything ready to go and marking out my spots, I pretty much just used a skill saw and dadoed out the area I needed to fit over the top of the, I guess, locking bars, if you want to call them, of the sawhorses. Now, they're a little thicker in the center than they are on the other ends, so I kind of had to go with the thickest area. And also, I didn't want them super loose. I wanted to have it where they were just a little tight going down on there, but that's also to help add some rigidity to the entire workbench.
Day 2.
After running out of daylight the first day, really all that was left was come out the next morning and make the entirety of the second cross member for the other sawhorse leg. Again, the process was pretty much the same, just cut it to length to mark out my spots for the braces on the cross member, and then just pretty much dado them out with a skill saw. And again, as you can see, I'm using mainly hand tools and stuff, and I don't have any big crazy machinery as of right now. And I'm extremely happy with how the workbench came out. It's nice and rigid, and it just looks good to me. You know, it's not a crazy complicated build or anything like that, but it's a simple, well-designed idea that just works. It is portable. I can break it down completely on my own and put it back up on my own and do everything in about 5 minutes, and it just doesn't move around a lot on me. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope it helps you guys out. If you would like to build it, go for it, and I will try to get some SketchUp files up for you guys. So leave a comment below of what you think, and make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys later. Thank you.